Hari Om. Myself Gowri. I'm a student of Standard 9. Today, I'm here to make a presentation on India's G20 presidency. So, in this presentation, we'll look into G20, India's G20 presidency, and its implications. To begin with, G20 stands for Group of 20. So, it is the forum of the world's major developed and emerging economies over the years. Or simply, it is a medium of the world's leading countries in terms of their development and economies. So, the G20 countries comprises of 19 countries plus the European Union. So, the countries are Argentina, Australia, Brazil, Canada, China, France, Germany, India, Indonesia, Italy, Japan, Republic of Korea, Mexico, Russia, Saudi Arabia, South Africa, Turkey, the United Kingdom, the United States, plus the European Union. So, global GDP. It is the value of all the goods and services produced across the globe in a year. So, interestingly, this G20 member countries represent around 85% of the global GDP and over 75% of the global trade passes through these countries. These G20 member countries also represent about 2/3 of the world population. So we can see here the most populous countries, China, India, the United States and Indonesia are a part of G20 countries. The G20 summit is held annually under a rotating presidency. So last year the G20 presidency was Indonesia, this year it is India and the next year it will be Brazil. So the G20 presidency sets an agenda for that year and hosts the summit. For Indonesia, the theme was Recover Together, Recover Stronger. Similarly, India also has an agenda which is related to Vasudhaiva Kudumbaka. The G20 consists of two tracks, Finance Track and Sherpa Track. Finance Track is led by finance ministers and central bank governors and Sherpa Track is led by Sherpas or personal representatives of a head of state or head of government who prepares an international summit. So these are the G20 member countries. So the flags of the member countries are represented here. Next is about the history of G20. So G20 was founded in 1999 after the Asian financial crisis. So Asian financial crisis is a period of financial crisis that affected much of East Asia and Southeast Asia. So after this Asian financial crisis, the G20 was founded in 1999 and then it was a forum for the finance ministers and central bank governors to discuss global economic and financial issues. Later, in the background of global economic and financial crisis of 2007, it was upgraded to the level of heads of state or heads of government and in 2009 was designated the premier forum for international economic cooperation or simply the highest medium for international economic cooperation. At first, this G20 focused largely on broad macroeconomic issues and later it expanded its agenda among other things including trade, climate change, health, agriculture, environment, etc. So this is India's logo for its presidential term. Each G20 presidency will design a logo and theme for that year. So now let's watch a short video released by the Government of India on G20.
India, home of 1.3 billion people, is a confluence of religions, traditions, and customs. A thriving global center of technology, and the world's largest democracy. As one of the oldest civilizations in the world with a rich cultural heritage and diversity, and as the fifth largest economy in the world, India is proud to assume the presidency of G20. As the country blooms into a new era, we look to another poignant symbol for humanity to emerge victorious from its challenges. Lotus, the national flower of India. Representing our culture, history, and heritage. A poignant symbol for humanity to emerge victorious from its challenges. And the inspiration for India's G20 logo design. The design, rendered in saffron, white, green, and blue, is drawn from the national flag of India. The 7 petals in the logo signify the 7 seas and the coming together of 7 continents at G20 India 2023. Sitting above the lotus is a representation of the earth, reflecting India's pro-planet approach to life and seeing the world as one family. From this, we derive the theme for G20 India 2023, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, one earth, one family, one future. A theme that brings the G20's focus on shared global growth, while being in harmony with nature. G20 India 2023. One earth, one family, one future.
Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam.
In the logo, the word G20 is written and we can see there a lotus. This lotus has 7 petals and these 7 petals represent 7 seas and the coming together of 7 continents. It also represents the 7 notes of music or Saptaswaram. This defines G20's aim to bring the world together in harmony while respecting diversity. Above the lotus is the globe which represents Earth. So this indicates India's pro-planet approach to life. Below the lotus and globe is written Bharat in Devanagari script. The colors used in the logo are derived from the Indian national flag. And the colors are saffron, white, blue and green. So from these we derived the theme for India's G20 presidency, that is Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam, one earth, one family, one future. So India holds the G20 presidency from 1st December 2022 to 30th November 2023. And this G20 presidency is supported by the Troika, that is the preceding, current and succeeding presidency. So in India's case, it will be Indonesia, India and Brazil respectively. And India will be hosting more than 200 meetings over 50 cities across 32 different work streams during its G20 presidential term. India have some special invitee guest countries and organizations. The countries are Bangladesh, Egypt, Mauritius, Netherlands, Nigeria, Oman, Singapore, Spain and the UAE. The invited international organizations are United Nations, International Monetary Fund, World Bank, World Health Organization, World Trade Organization, International Labour Organization, Federal Security Service, Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, the Chair of African Union, the chair of New Partnership for Africa's Development, the chair of Association of Southeast Asian Nations, Asian Development Bank, International Solar Alliance, and Central Drug Research Institute. India's G20 presidency will work to promote this universal sense of oneness. Hence, our theme One Earth, One Family, One Future. These are the words of our Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi. So, the theme of India, it respects all the living creatures and their importance in maintaining an interconnectedness, which is what Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam is. Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam, the theme is derived from the ancient Sanskrit text of the Maha Upanishad. Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam, with the tagline One Earth, One Family, One Future, means we have only one earth and all the inhabitants of this earth are one family, and this family have a common future for which we have to live sustainably. The theme also has a sub-theme which is life, which stands for lifestyle for environment. This means that individual lifestyles and the nation's development should be eco-friendly. For India, this G20 presidency came at the right moment of Amrit Kal, the 25-year period beginning from the 75th anniversary of India's independence. Amrit Kal, it worked towards a futuristic, prosperous, inclusive and developed society. India has some priorities during its G20 presidency. The first priority is green development, climate finance and life. India aims to have an eco-friendly lifestyle all over the globe in order to tackle issues of climate change, global warming, etc. This ties closely with India's G20 theme Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam, One Earth, One Family, One Future. The next priority is accelerated, inclusive and resilient growth. For a sustainable development, an accelerated, inclusive and resilient growth is needed. During its G20 presidency, India aims to focus on areas that have the potential to bring structural transformation like building eco-friendly buildings. The third priority is accelerating progress on sustainable development goals. With this, India focuses to bring together the world to fulfill the sustainable development goals of the United Nations, that is, to end poverty of all its types by 2030. The next is technological transformation and digital public infrastructure. India is developing digitally too. So, this aims to develop more digitally and increase the digital public infrastructure in sectors ranging from agriculture to education, that is, in all the sectors. The fifth priority is multilateral institutions for the 21st century. So, this focuses the importance of more multilateral institutions like the G20. The next priority is women-led development. India aims to bring women to forefront to fulfill the sustainable development goals and to boost socio-economic development. India welcomes G20. Various events are conducted across the country regarding this G20, such as Jan Bhagidari activities, University Connect event, lighting up of 100 ASI monuments with G20 logo and colors. The famous Hornbill Festival of Nagaland became the first venue for the launch of G20 presidency. Sand artist Shri Sudarshan Patnaik created sand art of India's G20 logo on Puri beach in Odisha. Various other events and activities are being planned to conduct across the country throughout the year. The significance of G20 for India. So, G20 is an opportunity for India to contribute to the global agenda on important issues. G20, it's a new world order for the post-COVID age to build an international agreement. It is also an opportunity for India to be a representative and leader of the global south. It also highlights the importance of G20 in a world to tackle issues like global warming, climate change, sustainable development, pandemics like COVID 19, conflicts between two nations where such multilateral institutions can intervene. To conclude with, G20 is a powerful association. Any associations like G20 can tackle issues regarding the environment and intervene in conflicts between two nations and bring peace over there. Thank you. Hariyo.